But I do want to get a sub 30 today, so let's see if we can get one here. Let's hop in and start the game for real this time, and I'll talk about it a little bit as I go. Oh, I know, there's so many truly memeable names in the space right now. It's fantastic. But yeah. Start this off in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Mash through the intro cutscene here. This game is great. It tells the story of an adventurer following the notes left behind by his grandfather to go and investigate an ancient city of gold underground that was lost to time. And, of course, unravel its mysteries, discover what happened. Naturally, the answer is cosmic horror things. And shenanigans will ensue. Now, of course, we're going to be skipping through all of the text because it is a speedrun, so you will get to know very little of the story as we go. But that's okay, because you'll get to see some really fun movement, and hopefully I can pull off some of the harder skips first try. See if we can get a nice sub 30 today. So we actually want to die to that guy because respawning over here is faster than spending the time waiting to torch him, and we have a grappling hook, which, yeah, we will be using because it lets us move quite a bit faster through most of the early game. Additionally, along the way, we're going to be lighting these shrines. These shrines give us spirits, and we will be using spirits for various things, including the rites of the game that give us power-ups, and to upgrade our stamina. Alright, and so here we have now made it into the city. At least, the surface of it. And sure enough, it's all in ruins. Yeah, no, I wasn't initially sold on the art, but it definitely grew on me as I played through it. We're going to grab those there. By the time we get to the first rite, we're going to need 10 of these spirits, so at 3 spirits per shrine, that is going to be 4 total shrines that we need. And so we have to get 4 of these before we get to the first rite. Oh, that is going to be a problem. Oh, nice, clutched it. And then, so if you've seen other similar games in this genre, something like a Hollow Knight, you may have seen something where you get to save and quit out to return to your last bench. Well, this game, when you save and quit out, restores you to your last position that you were standing in, which isn't very helpful. But then, as a quick softlock prevention feature, the dev added a feature that lets you return to the start of the biome, and we will be exploiting the heck out of that. Yeah, grappling hook is definitely fastest with the long swing. Short swings, I actually think it loses some time. So you want to be in tall spaces like this when you're grappling. Oop, but I don't want to grapple there because we just fall straight down over here. And we get our 4th shrine. So something like this little tunnel here is not going to be that good to grapple in. And climb up here, light up this elevator. So in this biome, we're going to have to collect 4 crystals because they are the offering for our ritual. We're also going to hit that little guy there. So now we've picked up our first ability, kind of, which is the ability to see through some of the cosmic horror we've got going. So pick that up, get it going here. I messed it up again. This is deceptively precise. I mess it up quite regularly. Icy was here yesterday and watched me mess up that swing several times. I practiced a little, but honestly, take one little mistake in early game. That's quite alright. It's the math we got our degrees for, true. We're going to come over here, we're going to grab our rite. This little tablet gives us the instructions we need for actually performing the rite, so we have to pick it up. And then we also wanted that guy there to shoot that breakable wall for something we will be collecting later. So we grab our crystals, we've got our 12 spirits, and we complete the rite. Now, as I learned yesterday after stream, you can save and quit out here, which actually does save a little bit of time if you don't go back to the entrance to the mine, which is something I didn't mean to do, but we have now done. Normally you would want to reload from where you were standing, it just skips a very long cutscene. And we still have the power-up. So now, we get the ability to grab and throw things. A true Metroidvania classic, if you've seen lots of indie Metroidvanias, but one that works quite well with the rest of the movement set we'll be unlocking as we go. I also learned this one last night. You can just shoot a projectile straight down here. You don't have to go through the whole gauntlet. You can just skip it, and then you grab this guy and blow up that wall. And yeah, you can just skip the whole gauntlet by doing it backwards. So that's pretty fun. That's true. I did get 3 world records yesterday. Because again, nobody else has run this game. And so I did mention earlier, I have the speedrun.com page up now. So it got approved last night. So shout outs to the speedrun.com team for doing that one so quickly. No, yeah, advertisement. I really, low-key, I should, like, honestly, pretty much all y'all be mods here just to, like, ban the spam bots, because, like, I know who you all are, at least well enough, and I don't actually have, like, proper mods, because, again, tiny stream, so, but yeah, that's alright. They normally only send 1 message, so I'm not exceptionally worried. So now, we need to kill 3 of these guys around this biome, which is what I'm doing right now, because that is how you get the offering, and this guy here is particularly a nuisance. Very, very easy to mess this guy up and lose a lot of time. Fortunately, we did that pretty well. There's a way I could have saved 1 cycle there if I was a little more precise with a bit of movement, but that's alright. Pick up our right from here, which we will need to get our next power-up. Again, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of great text and lore you can solve the mysteries as you go through the game. Of course, we will not be doing that in the speedrun. We're just going to complete the entire game as fast as possible. So I did come up with a little bit of tech to make this guy down here a little bit more consistent. Specifically, we're going to swing directly into him and take damage. Okay, this is not the tech I came up with. This is a disaster, is what this is. Okay. Wait, hold on. This is a catastrophe. I don't know what to do now. Okay, there we go. Oh, nice. There we go, even easier. Thanks, Icy. Appreciate that. And shoutouts to Twitch's Automod, actually, then. That's good. I didn't know that. I don't actually watch much for streams on Twitch. Normally I'm a YouTube frog, so... set that off. Anyway, we now have enough to do this right here, and so we will be picking up our next power-up, and there's a really cool cutscene that plays. We will be skipping that. As now we reload to the Concealed Fortress entrance, and make our way into the next biome. So, since you didn't see me pick it up, the next power-up we get is a really fun one. It's Parry. Oh, there you are. Parry. So yeah, the parry is quite fun because most things in the game that are hostile to you can be parried, and most things that you can parry can be deflected back if they are projectiles, and if they're not projectiles... oops, this is going to be a little slow. I messed up the cycle. That's alright. I gotta focus for just a second here on the movement. I'm gonna be honest, lost the train of thought. But as we go here, we need to collect these 4 keys to open a door that will give us access to the old capital of Auridia. Where we will be getting our next power-up. That guy doesn't drop anything anymore. We did the right already, so that's me being a little silly. First run of the day things. But yeah, so most of the things in the game, you can parry, you can deflect back if they're projectiles. But there's something else that's rather fun in this game you can parry, which is the walls. And I'll show you that in just a moment here. So yeah, it does seem to save right around 15 seconds per cutscene skip. So we just get a minute of free time save for those cutscenes. And I figured out that you can just kind of skip. Let's make sure we do this one right. Ah, that's what you really don't want to do. That's okay. The respawn isn't that far back. Yeah, you just want to grab that one there super early. Grab the wall here. Shoot that, and then we'll drop down here, and then we're going to fall onto this platform here, which is not considered a safe space, thank goodness. So I did actually know that was not considered a safe space, so it was fine to land there. Not that I wanted to. I would have rather fallen in the lava, would have saved a little bit more time when you mess up like that, but that's all right. Because again, all told, those are minor mistakes, a couple seconds here, a couple seconds there. There's one big thing right at the end of the run, the hardest skip in the whole run, and that is what I am much more concerned about. It's landing first try. Okay. You can just swing under that guy. It's great. And then we're going to blow this up and drop the lava down to the altar. But we can't do the right yet because we haven't found the right scroll, nor do we have the offering completed yet, which in this case is to assemble all the magma. I came in a little too low on that one. All right. So, yeah, on top of being able to pull objects, you can also pull yourself by grabbing onto heavier objects. Once again, true classic, but it's quite fun in this game. I do, however, need to get this altar, so we'll be doing that. That's a very fast altar to get if you don't mess up the movement. And now, a little unlucky with that cycle. That's all right. So now we're going to blow this up and swing too low. We're going to swing through here, land on this platform here, get brought up, and right over here, thankfully very conveniently positioned, is the right we need. And now this power-up is going to change the way the movement looks in this game, because so far this has been a wonderful little grapple game. Gotta love an indie game with a grappling hook, but the grappling hook is very quickly going to become irrelevant. We're about to get a much, much faster form of movement. Well, not much, much faster, but quite a bit faster and certainly more consistent. I'm going to do this one. The slow one. I really should just decide to do the slow one immediately, because the fast one is technically possible, but very, very tight, and normally you just have to reset the whole gauntlet when you mess it up, so not worth it. Not worth it at this stage in the run. Launch ourselves up here. I'm gonna mess my shot up, but that's alright, still got it. And now, we actually do have everything we need for the right. We have our 10 spirits, we have the magma in the basins, and so we can do the right. I should split as well, and then we will load from capital entrance. So that ability is called Teleball. That is the actual name in the game, is called Teleball, and it's called Teleball because you throw out a ball and you just teleport to it. This kind of supersedes everything else in the game as far as speed goes until the very final power-up. Anyway, for now, we are going to talk to this guy, and with 3 dialogue inputs, we will get an upgrade to our maximum stamina. We will actually be seeing this guy one more time in the run, because we will need 6 max stamina for a very, very important and very, very tricky skip later in the run. But for now, we're going to take 1 stamina, and we're going to be putting it to use almost immediately as we make our way back up to the surface and head into Thaleopolis, the new capital of Auridia. Well, newer, I should say. There's not a lot left here. That's alive anyway. But yeah. So we want to start teleballing here. Unfortunately, going upward is not something we really get good movement options for until the final power-up, and we will skip the final power-up for most of the game that you're intended to have it. So and I'll show you why in just a second, but in the meantime, we're going to hop over here and grab this shrine. Which I think I still have all of them that I need. That's one of the things. You gotta hope I don't forget a shrine, but if I do, there is a backup that's relatively quick to grab. It's just a little slower than doing the intended way that I routed it. I want to teleball in here. So this is going to be a little bit of quick movement through the city of Thelopolis, the current capital. Which is, of course, also not doing so great in the wake of, you know, standard Eldritch Horror things, really. We get some nice movement through here. There are some really great puzzles at this portion of the game. Some good little movement tech puzzles, platforming challenges, that sort of thing. We will be skipping all of them with Teleball, pretty much. It's quite helpful. Also, shoutouts to fast travel. Gotta love fast travel in your Metroidvania. In this game, fast travel is just there on a guy's corpse, so we have that now. Also, I am doing this the slow way. I figured out a fast way to do this last night, and I just forgot right now. So as much as I'd love to say that there was a good reason for that, well, I guess I'll get to show you the fast way. There we go. There we go. So, yes, obviously that is faster if you don't mess the whole thing up first, but, you know. That's the movement. So now we have to beat this guy in combat, so we will be parrying his own projectiles straight back into his face. And again, these guys are awesome because, oops, what isn't awesome is that my controller just disconnected itself. But these guys are awesome. Oh, I forgot to split Rite of Travel. Oh well. Have to remove a fake gold from this. Oops, messed that up. It's alright, go for the backup. Give the right input. Okay. So we have made it into the Academy, which is the most built-up area in the entire game, and at this point we are going to do the obvious thing and leave immediately. Because this is the part where I'm going to be breaking the game pretty much wide open. Also, because we skipped that cutscene, this is normally actually quite obnoxious to platform over, because there's goop there. But because we skipped that cutscene earlier, there's not goop there. So instead, we're going to kill this guy, because it is a very quick way to get 5 extra spirits, because we also want to get this, because that's just 8 free spirits. And we will now be going up to 4-2. And heading back to a familiar room. We'll be visiting Erd the Turtle again. To get ourselves another upgrade. Also, I don't think I said it specifically, but hello, Eris! Thank you for stopping by the stream. I did see you there earlier. I responded to your Begone Bot, but I don't think I said hi specifically. So, sup? Anyway, now we have enough to get 2 more stamina upgrades with no spirits left over. And so, with that, it is actually faster here to perform the rite of travel back into the mine rather than go up and over, because again, upward movement is just something we do not have. Oh, I should also split on stamina maxing, because we have now maxed out our stamina. Well, not maxed out. It goes several points higher in the game, but we only need 6. And we're trying to play quite fast. Now, coming up here is the hardest trick in the run, but also the most important. So, this game sort of has a twist finale that comes up when you get the final power-up, where the whole world gets covered in purple goop gauntlets, and you have to go and make your way back to the altars we visited that we did the rites at again, for various reasons. The trouble is, those gauntlets are really hard, and you can't fast travel to those altars when they're covered in goop. So, what if instead of using the final power-up, which is flight, by the way. You can just fly in a straight line, which this is an ability gate for. However, if we just do this, and it's a little tricky. You have to get pretty much max height with it, which I think I'm actually already too low. Yeah. And so that's why I say this trick here is the hardest trick in the run, but it's also the most important because it allows us to save several minutes in return for doing one really hard trick. So again, this thing here is a really nasty gauntlet in late game, because it's not just these paths. There are also quite a few additional obstacles that have spawned at that point, as the Eldritch Horror is starting to personally fight back against you for your actions. We will be skipping all of that, and just doing it early. The reason I know about this skip, by the way, is I accidentally did it in my first playthrough, because I was like, wow, this is a really tricky section to get over, but I guess if that's what the game wants me to do. It turns out, on my second playthrough, I learned that that was not what the game wanted me to do, and that there is, in fact, an intended sequence that I had shattered. So, shoutouts to that. But yeah, so that's the gauntlet. We now have something called the Rite of Sundering, which is a very imposing rite that allows you to harvest the true names of the deities of this world. Now, normally they would be resistant to that, but because we're doing things out of sequence, they don't care, which is great. So we can just go around and harvest their true names, teleport to all of the shrines, and harvest their true names. And what's great is that we get to keep their true names. Even if we like skip the cutscenes, even if we go really fast, even once we do the final thing, the game doesn't even care if the item is in your inventory. It just cares that you've stood in front of the altar and done the Rite of Sundering. So yeah, we have all the true names of all the gods now, without having to bother with any of the really long gauntlets, which is great, because now all we have to do is get the final power. We do actually need it because, while we have the true names, the game will not let us start the encounter with the final boss until you have actually gotten the final power-up. So we do have to go through and get that, and to get it, there is unfortunately a door in our way, and there is nothing we can do about that door except open it. Which I guess is, you know, kind of standard for doors, but in this case it's a little tricky. We want to grab these 3 keys around the map. So that is key number 1. And then for key number 2, we're going to head back up this way. I actually wonder... Well, no, we'd have to go back anyway. So. Actually, I bet it would be faster to do top key first, now that I'm thinking about this. Because you wouldn't have to do this climb, you could save and quit at the bottom once you get the second key. I looked over at chat as I was climbing up that, and that's on me. Played this game like you did with Elden Ring. Nice. Yeah, I love sequence shattering in games, part of why I love Metroidvania so much. And this game is... I mean, you can see how ridiculous the movement is. Like, even here, when you're seeing what I've come up with that I think is the best way to sequence shatter this game, there's, like, so many more opportunities, like, in your casual playthrough. The game practically encourages it. There are so many gauntlets gated behind various power-ups that you don't actually need that power-up for if you just finagle the movement a little bit. It's awesome. I love it when games give me that opportunity. I hate it because I always do it accidentally. Yeah, that's fair. Like, it depends on if the game encourages it or if it breaks the game to do it, right? I think that's kind of the difference. This game was very obviously designed with that in mind. Like, they wanted you to figure out that, hey, you don't need a certain power-up if you can just wall pogo, which, by the way, I shouted out earlier, we're going to be parrying the walls a lot in this biome. We've been doing it for a while. You saw it in that one big gauntlet that we were doing the big skip in. Parrying the walls is just plain broken. Like, you can go so many places you're not supposed to with that, and it's intended. It's great. Fought the tree sentinel and then went straight to Caelid. Oh my gosh, That's choice. Yeah, I skipped Tree Sentinel and went up Storm Hill, so I had a much better time my first run. While playing Wretch. Okay, now that part's on you. Anyway, we're gonna hop up here. We're gonna grab the Rite of Coercion, which is really unfortunate for our for one of the characters in this game, because in theory we would want to release them with the right of release. Unfortunately, that's just slower. It's just slower to release them because it's the further right. So we instead we coerce them to give us their stuff without helping them out. And so they remain trapped in prison forever. So that's rough, buddy. You know, speedrunners don't tend to be great people for the worlds that they're speedrunning through. And this is definitely one of those cases where, sure, we're gonna clean up some of the old mess, but for the most part, you know, the inhabitants are kind of gonna be left in shambles. Anyway, we're going to hop up here, and we're going to grab the Rite of Expulsion, and once again, we're going to save and quit out back to the entrance of this biome. And we now, with the Rite of Expulsion, and with all these crystals, we actually have everything we need to finish the game. So we're going to head back to the Grand Altar at the start of the game. You would have visited this place many, many times throughout your run in a casual playthrough. We have not yet seen it, but that's right, because we performed the Rite of Expulsion, and we utter the true names of the gods we've gathered, but one of the true names we have was a false name. And that god doesn't want to let go of its power. And so, it fights back. And that is this entity here, the one responsible for the Violet Blight, and so many others of the woes of this world. Alright, that was interesting. So anyway, we're just going to be flying around a little bit, because we now have flight, and that's it's really fun. Now the goal here is to not get hit, because when you get hit, it goes back one stage in fight progression. So really, that's the entire goal here, is just to avoid damage. So now we've made it to the final stage, which is the parry part of this gauntlet. I did take damage there, but it doesn't roll back between main phases. It only rolls back within a phase. Oh, and nice! I managed to time that death so that it registered the damage after I had died, so that's going to just save a little time there. I'm going to parry both of these. I grabbed the one below me, which is really annoying. There we go. With that, we have defeated the final boss, and we have completed the rite. Gamers, we got a sub 30. Not only that, I think we got a sub 29. I think we skipped right through it. That was my cleanest final boss I've done in one of these runs I've streamed, so that was really fun. So now we're going to mash through some dialogue that comes up here with our friend Snorri. Oh, did I forget to mention Snorri? In a casual playthrough, you would have talked to Snorri a ton. They're a historian documenting this world. Unfortunately, we completely ignore Snorri, and in fact, with the cavern now collapsing, if you lower this rope here at the end, you can save Snorri. Unfortunately, saving Snorri is really, really slow. Oh, I got the angle again. Haha. It's just a little faster to get that angle. You don't have to do any resetting things. Saves a couple seconds. And with that, that is time. 28? 28! Are you kidding me? Let's go! Wait, this is awesome! Thanks for the GGs, y'all. And the W. Ah, my goodness! This game is hard. Build this furnace because I tried to experience it. Yeah, that's fair too. That'll do it. Oh, goodness. Wait, that feels awesome. That actually felt like a really good run all the way through. A couple of minor mistakes throughout it, and I didn't hit the really hard trick first try, but that's kind of okay. That was fast. I feel like that might be just like the run I put up on the board as the time to beat for people who want to come at it. So that might be my yeah, right. I got the best run right away. As I say, there were some minor fumbles along the way, but Yeah, the first snail was a little scuffed. The second snail was especially scuffed. The third snail was... Actually, all three of the snails did not go good, but they went fine. Like, there wasn't anything catastrophic in this run. Something I really like about this game is there are very few points that are, like, really bad to mess up. Because, you see, there's not a health bar. It just respawns you at the last safe place you were standing. Yeah, I should probably click through this here too, so I can when I edit the video, I can end off the recording here with the credits. Which, by the way, we gotta love indie games. Here's the entire credits. That was it. That was the whole credits. It doesn't even scroll. I love indie games. But I think this takes the record for the shortest credits I've ever seen in the game. It's genuinely, it's so good.